What is a fashion trend you hate? 2x or 3x that is only wide, not long. Big and tall affairs. You forget the tall part. Clothes that are cute until you look up clothes and the back says something stupid like but first. Coffee. I always get those as gifts like. I knew this was your sense of humor. Why are we friends? See, that's the kind of thing you take a picture of to send to your friends, not buy it for them. SMH. Bad bitch. I do want a pair of those leggings pants with juicy on the A. Forever 21 in a nutshell. Making employees wear clothes that are easily stained. 100% agree. I work at a truck dealership and they used to make us wear khakis. Even the warehouse and parts employees. It is impossible to get grease or coolant stains out of those affairs. Before we just decided to ignore that rule, everybody was walking around with all kinds of fun and dubious stains. I don't trust anyone who claims to work on cars but has spotless clothes. Not a single oil stain. They are definitely not doing any actual work. My boss once decided we could no longer wear our dark blue MCDS supervisor button-up shirts that came in a couple colors and gave us awful white corduroy button-up shirts. I was the night manager with no back-end person and part-time maintenance. I used to get as filthy every night to prove a point. They were also hot as F. The next year we all got navy blue polos. I won. Long sleeves on women's clothing that are too short. Most long sleeves end well before my wrist and a few inches past my elbow. I'm not exactly queen of the long-armed Amazons. I end up pushing the sleeves up on everything because I look like a kid after a growth spurt whose clothes no longer fit properly. WHO, are these people with impossibly short arms? As a woman, sheer shirts and dresses. I don't want to have to wear a cami under every damn shirt. I think it's a way to get you to spend more money. Bow down and give your money to be glaring. My wife refers to them as bobos, buy one, because you can't pick up one without the other to match. Fake airfine pockets. To hell with them, I say. The shorts I'm wearing right now have fake back pockets. I've tried putting my phone in my back pocket about 10 times today and I'm ready to just rip the damn shorts off my legs at this point. I can't imagine a world where anyone would think both fake pockets and back pockets are a good idea. Any chance they're real pockets pretending to be fake pockets? I've had a couple pairs that were sewn shut but once opened were perfectly fine pockets. OMG yes. I have a really nice denim shirt and I thought the two flaps at front were genuine pockets because it's good material. Nah, nothing. Just for the look. Total waste of time if you ask me. Most women's clothing products are thin and aren't quality. If I'm paying for a $40 shirt, I'd expect it to not be see-through or shred up in the wash. Yes, I feel like I waste money replacing worn out clothes. And it's so hard to find anything of quality because even high-end expensive stuff is thin and flimsy. This exact problem is how I ended up buying most of my clothes from adventure trekking stores. Brands like Patagonia, Columbia, The North Face etc. sell clothes that are made to last. A lot of the stuff looks a bit too trekky for everyday life, but they sell plenty of normal clothes too. They are a bit expensive but it's totally worth it. The high-end is a scam. It's only high-end because of the label. I grew up with family in fashion clothing manufacturing and they all look for quality before brand. You get far more for your dollar and can look just like you want without the branding. I absolutely refuse to buy anything that I can see through. I'm not going to buy and wear a tank under a shirt because the clothing company wants to save money. It gets to 120 in my neck of the woods, and the last thing I want to be doing in the summer is layering multiple pieces together so I can go to the grocery store without getting arrested for indecency. I just don't understand why people would put pockets on women's jeans but you can't even use it. Same for a lot of men's nicer clothes now. There are certain fabrics that are apparently popular, but they just shrink all the shirts up on the torso. 1 wash and I look like I'm dressing as Winnie the Pooh. 2 and you start seeing through it. That and jeans with short crotch to belt measurements so I either sag or have a wedgie. At least they still have pockets though. Or I hate pants with a small crotch. It always ends up smashing my balls. Who thought that was a good idea? Also, stupidly short sleeves. So then I need a light cardigan whenever I walk into a place that's air conditioned. My cardigan ain't supposed to see the light of day from April to November. For me it's more that the very short sleeves kinda bunch up in my armpit somehow, and it's just really uncomfortable. When I first went into H&M and tried on a shirt, I got the sense that it would disintegrate in the wash. It's the first time I thought to myself, whoa, one use disposable clothing. Large logos. Ralph Lauren is the worst. I'll see a shirt I like with an oversized polo man. It ruins the shirt. The backstory behind large polo man is actually funny because it was entirely unintentional and just a business responding to customer demand. Apparently Ralph Lauren was the apparel provider for one of the more prestigious tennis tournaments. Think US Open, Wimbledon, etc. And they made one-offs for the ball boys to wear so that the logo would be visible on TV. There was apparently no initial intent to market them to the general public. People watching saw it and said I want that. And here we are with giant polo logos now. So yeah. Oversized polo man is a result of consumers' bad taste. This is actually the correct definition of the customer is always right. They wanted stupidly big logos. Well, now they got their stupidly big logos. You should get paid if the clothes make you a walking advertisement. Well, at first those were intended for the ball boys at tennis matches so you see the logo. Then people actually wanted it. When you pull out what appears to be a simple sweatshirt or sweatpants to find out it has something stupid like good vibes only awesome written on it. Reminds me of the 2000s when you could pull out a reasonable looking pair of jeans or joggers only to find the bum was emblazoned in sparkly writing with something like raunchy whore. Not literally, but words to that effect. JUICY. I had one of those that said bootylicious on the butt. I was 13 and an idiot. The worst is when you think you finally found a plain old normal tie-dyed shirt and then turn it around to see it's got Bob Molly written on it in a terrible, huge font. I've got nothing against Bob Molly, but I don't like huge words, logos, and or pictures on my shirts. And all I wanted was a damn tie-dye shirt. Effing hell, I hate this so much. Thank you. Text on everything. No, I don't want to wear a shirt that says Sweet Angel, and clothing with cities names I've never been to. I'm from the UK and bought some cheap shirts from Primark a few years ago and one of them had the name of some American university on it. A few months later I'm out shopping and an American tourist comes up to me all excited telling me he went to that university and asked when I graduated, and I felt bad explaining to him it was some 3-quid shirt from Primark and I've never heard of the place. City vs everybody. For me it's when you pull it out to reveal that it has no back or it's a crop sweatshirt or something. It's okay, you can say Forever 21. So annoying. I hate the king and queen shirts. Oh, you don't like to see juicy painted across your A when you're doing a grocery run? I'm not a fan of those wide panel sandals with the fake fur over it. They look like you're wearing slippers out in public. My wife really wanted a pair of these. Well, it was her birthday, so I obliged. $100 plus later and now she looks so fancy when she puts them on to take the dogs out to I watched Wives of NY, something like that, and the woman's slippers cost $3,000. I have never, nor would I spend that much money on a piece of clothing or slippers. They were furry slippers. I guess real fur, and now I hate her. Square shirts. They look so bad on ME. I used to like to shop at this place because they had really nice material shirts for cheap. But I grew taller and now I despise the place because they only sell square shirts. I just want to find a shirt that won't make me look like I'm wearing a box. Fake pockets. WTFY? I didn't realize how much pocket space I was missing out on until I bought a pair of men's sweatpants at Walmart for like $12. The pockets. I can easily fit my phone, wallet, keys, and headphones with no problem and still have room for more things. Stickers on hats. When I was young, I bought a hat and left the sticker on, because it was the thing to do. A few years later I realized it was dumb, and also peeling, so I tore it off. Turns out the hat was more faded than I thought, so I stuck my own sticker on to hide the shame. We used to F with the boys in elementary school by threatening to remove the stickers on their hat brims. They would freak because if you took the sticker off it would lose its value. You're going to love this skit then. I don't even have to click the link to know what this is. Cracks me up thinking about it. Expensive equals good. No matter how ugly, money cannot buy taste. It takes a lot of money to look this cheap. Dolly Parton, my mother-in-law, all the time, goes on about how much money she saved because after all, it's on clearance for 60% off. It's an absolute steal. No, it's not. I could bring my entire family out to eat at a decent restaurant for about the price of those ugly jeans. Susan. Sick and tired of cropped clothing. So many shirts these days are made to pair with high-waisted pants. As someone with a large bust, I find they just ride up and expose too much even if I have high-waisted jeans. I just want regular length shirts. As someone with an extremely short torso, I personally love this trend. But as someone who likes us all to feel our best, I would prefer if we could all just get styles we like instead of being stuck with whatever is going to be hot this season. Instagram face. People's faces are starting to homogenize because they've all had exactly the same procedures. I saw it described recently as trying to look like a sexy baby. People's faces are starting to homogenize because they've all had exactly the same procedures. Thanks. I couldn't find the right words for what I was seeing. First noticed on the Jersey Shore cast, when their popularity started rising. Crops tops. Hear me out. I'm 100% behind girls feeling badass and proud of their body no matter what it looks like. My problem is when everything in the shops are cropped. Cute hoodie, cropped. Cute tanks, cropped. I don't have a terrible body but have serious insecurities so I wouldn't be caught dead in one. And it seems like lately it's hard to find tops not cropped. The way that so much of women's clothing has effing unfathomable sheer panels or cutouts on it. If I'm searching for a woolly jumper in the dead of winter, do you really think I want it to have a sodding cutout at the neckline so that my delicate collarbones can get frostbite while the rest of me is nice and unfashionably toasty? Why the F would I be interested in a jumper made of the thickest wool known to mankind, with a turtleneck that could suffocate a 6-foot man, if it's effing backless? I don't want a bastard t-shirt that exposes just the band of my bra and a weird 7-inch window between my shoulder blades. Why the piss do you think I want to expose 3 inches of random skin between my bosoms, in such a way that any bra would show? And if I didn't wear a bra then an errant knit knot might end up playing peekaboo. The number of times I've seen a nice dress which has piqued my sartorial interest and then I've turned it round and found that there's a solid 2 feet of fabric missing from neck to crack. Holy god. And they never take the extra fabric they save from those stupid effine cutouts to make pockets, either. It pisses me off immeasurably. I will say, the Under Armour shirt I understand. My back gets the sweatiest when I exercise, so I enjoy better ventilation there. Everything else can get bent. Agreed. The open backs are something that are great for hot yoga. I sweat like a whore in church. Agreed. That's not a shirt for fashion. Despite the athleisure, SP, trend. I use similar tops for running for the function of it when I run in places that aren't appropriate for just bra. I totally agree with this. Please give me the full sweater. I just want to be warm. Crop sweaters make no sense to me. At least crop tops are meant to be worn in the summertime. They at least make sense for the season. But crop sweaters? What? I just want to be warm. WRNK top UND air it. That's stupid. I'm not buying clothes for my clothes. Outstanding rant. Rounding off with the lack of pockets. Effing yes. I knew I loved you when I saw all the links, but my love for you was sealed with the term nip-nop. Thank you for your gorgeous commentary. That was the most eloquent angry rant I've ever seen. That's why I shop for sweaters at the men's section. I'm 4'11" so alas, unless I want to look like a child wearing papa's sweater on a camping trip, it's not an option. I appreciate everything about your post. Thank you for the links. Your answer should be at the top. I am especially opposed to the last link. Why do we need windows right there of all places? Fast fashion. To clarify, not just because of short-lived seasonal trends that are in for 3 weeks, rather because of the damage fast fashion production does to people and the planet. Everyone suffers from it, but especially the people forced to make clothes in cramped spaces and horrid working standards, for minimal pay, just so people can buy a shirt for $3 from H&M. It blew my mind a few years ago when there was a challenge circulating to wear a clothing item at least 30 times before throwing it out. I can't fathom having to set a goal to reach such a low number of row-wears. As someone who worked in fast fashion, I totally agree. But what doesn't get touched on as much is the chemicals they put on the clothes and shoes to make them look nice in stores. I didn't pay it any mind until 3 years into working there when I started coming home with breathing issues and breaking out in hives, and had to start coming into work with an inhaler just to make it through the shift. Chemicals like formaldehyde and sizing are really not meant to be touched, breathed in as much as our retail workers do, and it's really a big health concern of fast fashion. Formaldehyde in stretch jeans is the absolute worst. I somehow brought home a pair of jeans that reeked of it, and no amount of baking soda, vinegar, sun, or washing cycles could get rid of it, and I would smell it on me whenever I was in a confined space like a vehicle. I must have been so inundated by the smell in the store that I didn't notice it directly on the jeans I bought, though the smell in the store should have been a tip to not buy anything there to begin with. Live and learn, I guess. I work an airline, and we had a huge scandal a few years ago when our brand new uniforms were causing people extreme allergic reactions because of exactly that. I got hives on my neck from the scarf, and a lot of flight attendants reported breathing problems. This reminds me of a guy on Reddit years ago who had always dreamed of wearing a brand new pair of socks but when he tried to live his dream, the chemicals effed with his skin really quickly. And now those same factories are churning out fast fashion masks that people are wearing over their nose and mouth without washing them first. That men's underwear with addicted printed on the waistband. Addicted to what? The wearer or paying too much for skivets? Seriously creeps me out. Those leggings from TikTok that have that scrunch in the a-hole, so they literally suck into your a-crack. I hate it. I saw someone wearing one where the scrunched up design was kind of weird. It literally looked like a giant a-hole. Sphincter. Pants were peach colored too. I was sitting on a patio and a woman was walking down street towards us. She was a few hundred yards away. I heard at least 3 tables asking out loud if she was naked. I thought so as well. When she got closer, you could see she was wearing peach colored yoga pants with pink stitching at the crotch. I assume that was intentional by the manufacturer and by the women who bought them. If she actually had no idea, hopefully someone eventually let her know. LMAO, I was walking behind a woman today with one of those. I believe the brand is called. Definitely distracting. Honey, check it out. You got me mesmerized with your black hair and fade thighs. Those fake eyelashes that look like spider legs. Just EWW. If you're not into the lashes that look like spider legs, then perhaps you'd prefer these lashes which are actually fly legs. What the F? Artist Jessica Harrison takes dead flies' legs and attaches them onto the eye for what are aptly called fla lashes. Artist. The sudden designer trend. Can't even buy regular Adidas cause of it. What's crazy is how streetwear of wearing athletic aesthetic became high fashion when in reality Adidas used to be the broke person's Nike. I remember when you used to get clowned for wearing Champion in the early 2000s because you definitely bought it from Kmart. Now it's like $100. In the 90s, Champion was a higher end brand. They produced a lot of the uniforms for the NBA and NHL, as well as at least part of the Olympic team. I stopped wearing sports logoed clothing by the late 90s. So I didn't even know they had gone down market until people started commenting on them becoming popular again. The F-boy haircut that every popular kid at my school has. You know, the one where the sides are shaved and the top is a ridiculous perm that looks like spaghetti. Now I understand why my son suddenly started saying that he wants a perm. The meet me at McDonald's haircut. What an amazing name for a haircut. The YouTuber. The broccoli cut. The Gen Z mullet, the zullet, if you will. That's the kind of haircut you find self-indulgent wannabe playboys wearing. I've seen it all before. Boxy shirts. As a thin woman with a long torso but curvy hips, it is so hard to find t-shirts at the moment that are flattering on me and don't make me look like a straight up rectangle. I feel ya here. When I was chubbier back in middle high school, any nice shirts were all super tight and clingy. I held all my weight on my belly so it stretched badly, emphasized the weight, and just didn't look or feel good. When I lost the weight and went shopping, everything was effing loose rectangles, on top of also sharing your issue of never finding clothes long enough. I always say to people I need the torso of a size small, the armholes of a size med large, and the length of a large XL. There have been a few fitted button-up shirts that I like the look of that I straight up couldn't wear because my arms were too big. I'd hate to try now that I've been actually working out and lifting. I'm trying to get better at sewing so I can make all my own stuff. And one thing I've learned from looking at commercial patterns is that everything seems to be designed for women around 5 feet 4-5 feet 5. I may only be 5 feet 7, but damn do those few inches make a difference. It is different in my country. Every shirt makes you look curvy and I hate that. Treating the human body as a fashion trend. Plumped up lips, fox eyes, labial trimming, butt implants, Just let bodies be bodies, change the clothing, the makeup, but surgery for fashion really grinds my gears. When I was in high school, a lot of people would wear moccasins and the Nike Elite socks. One of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Moccasins were my go-to shoe when I was a little kid. So comfy, uncomplicated, no laces. Extremely ripped jeans. Every year it gets worse and worse. I grew up working construction. Lots of rips in my jeans. Every once in a while the trend would circle back and there I'd be, in fashion. Accidentally, some might say, you are fashion. Ahead. Fashionably behind. Or right on time. Jeans be looking like the blanket from Diary of a Wimpy Kid in 2025. I saw a woman sitting at a bus stop the other day. Her pants were more ripped than fabric. I honestly don't know how you would put them on. How do you know what hole is a leg hole? Every time you miss the leg hole, they get a little more fashionable. Do those giant artificial eyelashes count? Llama lashes. Non-functional clothing. Though to be fair I work on a farm lol. The 3 inches missing at the end of every single pants I buy. As a man, I can't imagine being a woman with no pockets on effing jeans. Seriously, who the hell thought that was a good idea to make fake pockets? The lack of pockets on women's trousers. Lip injections like bruh, having lips half the size of your face doesn't make you look more attractive. Ridiculously long fingernails. I was getting a manicure on my natural nails and a woman rushes in and asks the manicurist to fix one of her claws she got done 2 days prior. It was literally snapped in half lengthwise, so they had to rip it off and start that again. We get to talking and she said she worked at UPS loading trucks with heavy boxes all day. I can't imagine how often her nails get ruined. I work at UPS and I see so many girls with those talon nails. I don't know how they do it. Getting those nails caught on something is literally the worst pain I have ever felt. It feels like the whole nail bed is being lifted up. Wow, didn't expect that. Not at all convenient. Wearing pants under your A. I have no problem with wearing them low, but I see more A crack at work than I really need to. I have a constant urge to pull up my socks when they fall too low. IDK how people can ignore the feeling their pants are about to fall down. There's sagging and then there's public indecency. I used to have a real bad habit of sagging way too low in high school. It makes me cringe now, but back then I felt like some badass for having my pants damn near falling off me on the way to the bus stop. Christ, I commend your bravery for admitting this harrowing time in your life. I don't get it. It looks so uncomfortable. Hats with flat brims and the sticker still on it. My son picked out a giant puffy brightly colored trucker hat for Mother's Day. I look like a woman about to hit a Vegas pool looking for boys half my age when I wear it. It is my new look because he is 7 and I love him. There will be many pictures of me in that hat because he has demanded I wear it on our upcoming family vacation. My husband thinks this is hilarious. Elizabethan ruffed collars. I mean ridiculous. So good for hiding your bed bug bites and body lice though. A lot of Gen Z fashion is dressing like a boomer at a cookout. Chunky shoes with mom jeans, the largest t-shirt you can find, and a bucket hat. IDK guess I'm old now.